Hello and welcome to a brand new day of free-to-play here on Magic the Gathering Arena. Get the dish on the latest with me, Lord Rumfish. So, if you were watching my channel the other day, you would have seen how the Fang of Shigeki held off a white deck for a surprisingly long amount of time, even though the white deck had a perfect draw. Just the presence of this little death toucher on the battlefield was threatening to trade with their big cards, so all they could get in with was Thalia and the human tokens they were generating off of good old what's-her-name, 0-4 with Vigilance. So, this is the logical extension of that idea into a death touch deck. So, green and black are the colors that mostly supply this deck with what it needs. However, there's a couple of noteworthy exceptions. Thalia and the Gitrog monster is a big one. So I decided that if I was really going to embrace the Death Touch deck, that I wanted to have the First Strike Death Touchers in the deck too. So Glissa Sunslayer. First Strike and Death Touch, if you've never encountered this, that means that she hits first and she kills the other creature, unless it's indestructible. If they both have First Strike and they both deal enough damage, they'll kill each other. And if you let Glissa through, then she can draw cards, she can destroy enchantments, she can remove counters from permanents. Pretty nasty. And then up at the 4 mana mark, we've got Thalia and the Gitrog monster. Another First Strike Death Toucher, 4/4 now. You can play an additional land on each of your turns, that's interesting. Creatures and non-basic lands opponents control enter the battlefield tapped. That's an interesting tax on the opponent, especially it's a defensive tax. It's hard for them to block you. And whenever this attacks, you sacrifice a creature or land, then draw a card. It's not a May ability. So, if you're struggling to get on the board, right, if you have struggled to get creatures on the board, you struggled to get to 4 mana, this could be a significant cost at that point because you don't know if you're going to draw another land. But if you do, then you can keep playing 2 lands a turn as long as this card's on the battlefield. And, roughly 40% of the cards in your deck are land anyway. So it's okay to be sacrificing lands with the intent to hit more of them with card draws. You have to read the situation and the kind of game that you're in and determine whether or not it's safe to attack with Thalia. Another thing we have in white is Elas il-Kor, which, let's see, Strictly Better MTG is his channel, Dev from the Place. He's got this long-running gag that he's engaged to Elas il-Kor, that they're going to get married. He loves, Orzhov decks. Presumably I know he loves aristocrats. Must love to some extent life gain and life drain. Elas il-Kor is a good 2-drop here. We've also got Tainted Adversary at 2. And aside from that, those are the 2s. All the other 2s are removal. Tainted Adversary is nice in that if you get to 5 mana or 8 mana, it gives you this big burst of damage. The opponent kind of needs a board sweeper at that point. 1-drops. We got Ashnod. Anyone remember Ashnod? She's got Death Touch. We got 2 copies of her. She's a legend, so I don't know if we want 4, but 2 seems alright. Bilious Skulldweller. I think this is the only toxic in the deck, but if you do happen to have 2 or 3 of these in your opening hand, then you could pressure the opponent with poison, and even if you're not going to win with poison, for a while the opponent might think that you will, and that can cause them to play differently. Mostly this is here just as a 1/1 Death Toucher, just like Fang of Shigeki. Fang of Shigeki has no special purpose in this deck as an enchantment creature or whatever, just a Death Toucher. Removal at 2, we've got a Fateful Absence. Good all-purpose removal, I like it. Soul Partition can save one of our things, as well as being like a tempo play. Sheoldred's Edict is pretty solid all the way around, can get rid of planeswalkers. Then we've got, from green, Bite Down, Cosmic Hunger, and Master's Rebuke. Let's see. They're all instant speed. They all hit creatures and planeswalkers. Cosmic Hunger can hit a battle, but we don't have any battles in this deck. So, these are all just kind of like functional reprints, sort of. And the idea here is, even though it requires more setup, right, it requires a creature in play to use, this is a deathtouch deck. If there's ever going to be a time that these kind of green effects are really good, it's going to be in a deathtouch deck. So we're going to run them. Up at higher mana costs, we've got a copy of Henrika. Henrika gets deathtouch on her flip side, and she can be a pump effect for creatures with deathtouch. Yeah, creatures you control with flying, deathtouch, or lifelink. You can get +1/+0 for every time you pay 1 black. She's a good solid creature. The turn you play her, usually you'll draw a card and lose a life. The next turn you could attack with her, so you might choose to flip her then. You don't need to use each player sacks a creature unless it's beneficial. If you're in a good board position to take out something valuable of the opponent's, go ahead. Otherwise, don't worry about it. And normally you wouldn't flip her the turn you play her because she can't attack, but if you're up against a red deck, or, you know, aggro of some variety, your life total's under great pressure, you get to 4 mana. At that point, I would understand if you played Henrika and just chose to flip her that turn as a good, solid blocker. 4 toughness, flying, deathtouch, lifelink, that's a heck of a problem for a red deck. Now, white might be able to exile her out of the way, but if they don't have the card in their hand, if they're not ready to do it, then she could pose a big roadblock for white, too. There's Sheoldred, of course. Sheoldred has deathtouch, because why wouldn't she? Why wouldn't you make a 4/5 with deathtouch that just wins the game at 4 mana? We've got 2 copies of Sheoldred here. Whatever. A copy of Kura, the Boundless Sky. So, if you saw my deck building toolbox series, you'll know that Kura was the card I chose to spend my mythic on crafting. I still like Kura. I wouldn't keep putting Kura into decks if Kura was not working, right? So just because I might have a pet card that I slip into a deck, I wouldn't do it if it wasn't giving me value. I usually make the giant spirit token when Kura dies, just to give more battlefield presence. It's usually the right choice. However, Kura can also demonic tutor you 3 lands, right? They don't have to be basics. So you could go Eiganjo, Takenuma, Boseiju, for example. Or you could pick up some gain lands if you need a little bit of life. You could pick up these cycle lands if you really just want to draw cards and mana is no objective. So, yeah, Kura just all the way around is a really cool creature. That even if the opponent gets rid of it, if it's not with exile, then you get some added value. Deathtoucher. Anyway, as far as the mana base goes, we've got like just enough basic lands to be able to cast any spell in the deck. So 1 plains, 2 swamps, 2 forests. That would actually, with those basics on the battlefield, we could cast any spell in the deck. Kind of like it. It's also something that we can fetch up. The opponent uses a Boseiju on us if they use, like a basics check, demolition field, whatever. Then we've got some basics in the deck. Got 1 each of the channel lands. And then a smattering of cards that I happen to have in my collection. White is the less important color of this deck. There are fewer white cards in it than the other 2. So we've put more emphasis on going deep into the green-black lands. But really, it's just kind of whatever I had in my collection that looked like it was decent and went into the mana base. So, there you go. Let's play some games. Alright, we're up against Meliodon. One goes first. Not ideal. Tangled Island. What would that be? A zoo sense? No idea. Could be anything. I'll get the white mana started over here. Play a Fang. And they don't do anything. Interesting. Here's a Jungle Hollow. Here's an attack. Okay. Is there a chance they might play a Planeswalker? By that I mean Nissa on their next turn. Maybe, but I could still Fateful Absence about as meaningfully on my turn as I could then. I'm going to play this Adversary. Okay, they're making a Mana Monk. I wondered for a while if Careful Cultivation might have the chops to make it inconstructed. I think it's just shy of not doing it. I think it's just not quite there. They run Master's Review. That's cute. Kind of surprised they wouldn't use it here. That's a fight spell. That actually kills their thing. Weird. Okay, whatever they're doing is kind of a budget deck. Right? There are better blue card draw spells than Case the Joint. So they've got a budget deck going. They've got lots of commons and uncommons. Gonna go ahead and play Glissa. Well, there's an enchantment for her to blow up. So now they got a chump block. But I can get the creature out of the way so they can't chump block. I could also Boseiju. I think I'm gonna go with Cosmic Hunger right here. I guess they did have one mana open they could have potentially used. I'll get down this tap land. Say go. No telling what they might be up to. Organ Hoarder, I've thought about this one before. So this card, it's just shy of being the 3-mana Grixis Vampire, Corpse Appraiser. It has 1 less toughness, it costs 1 more mana, but it's only in 1 color. That doesn't require there to be a creature in the graveyard to use its ability. So they mill over a couple of basics. Probably not blocking here. No, okay. That's fine. Gonna play Thalia. I'm gonna hold the Boseiju. They've shown me one Glorious Sunrise. It can be a powerful card if they get some traction. Glissa is pretty good at blowing stuff up. Okay, they have a cleanup crew here, which is normally a pretty good card, but they don't I don't have anything of value for them to hit, so all it is gaining 4 life. It couldn't block effectively for them anyway because I have first strike death touchers, which is kind of a rough spot for them to be in. We'll sack the Llanowar Wastes. Draw a card. Play a land, play a Fang. Hold up the Boseiju. I think I would trade my Fang for their cleanup crew. It's a pretty good trade. Ooh, Sky Turtle. I think I go ahead and blow it up. Wait, it's an enchantment. I can blow it up with Boseiju. So, why not? The cleanup crew doesn't block very well against my creatures, so I'm not going to Fateful Absence it. I'm going to hold for a better target, I think. Plains would be the least useful land. Okay, more little death touchers. First strike. Draw. Keep drawing. Ooh, Elas. I think I'll keep the Fateful Absence open. No, wait. I don't have the mana to do that. I don't have white. Ugh. Okay, now they have targets to blow up. Fang at least. Yeah. Cleanup Crew is a good card. Not very good against this deck in particular. Alright, I'm gonna use the Tainted Adversary. Coming in. I will decline to sacrifice a creature. I will sacrifice one of these zombies. Alright, they've had enough. We're up against someone whose name I currently lack the comprehension to pronounce. Okay. Looked like an aggressive land drop, but then they didn't do anything. Does that mean I should go ahead and kill her? I guess so. If they're doing this kind of a deck, I should probably just kill her. Play Glissa next turn. Could just crack the clue. Okay. They've probably got a lot of creature protection spells. Maybe auras. Could be the toxic deck, could be something else. I think most people who run Ivy are doing the toxic deck. No, it doesn't look like it. It kind of looks like something else. That deck doesn't need to ramp. Doesn't need a Topiary Stomper. Well, let's come in. Draw some cards. Elas is cool. I'm going to play Thalia this turn, though. And that'll let me get down another land drop. So then I could kick this Tainted Adversary, so to speak. It's kicker, but it's from the battlefield, not while it's on the stack. I really have no idea what the opponent's up to. Okay. So they kill their creature to get rid of Thalia. That's probably a reasonable 2-for-1 for them. It's probably reasonable. Let's see. Do I go with the Adversary? I mean, it's pretty reasonable if they're playing sweepers, and they act like they're playing sweepers here. I guess they could be running Wandering Emperor. That's kind of what they're holding up, but I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Play your Wandering Emperor. It's not. They take a damage to do this. And they have nothing to proliferate. What is their deck? I've not seen anything they need to proliferate yet. Okay, here's a Jungle Hollow. Feels like it could be a sweeper, so I'm gonna run the Tainted Adversary out, but don't lose as much from that. Applies adequate pressure. Doesn't cost me so many cards. Okay, it is a sweeper. Alright. So let's go like Elas, il-Kor and Glissa Sunslayer and say go. This kind of feels like they might have another one. I mean, these things don't have any better purpose than to attack in. They save one of them. It doesn't really feel like much of a thing. Although it makes it sound like they don't have their next White Sun's Twilight. Okay, they can proliferate the poison now. Is that why they have proliferate cards in their deck? That's weird. It's just weird. Let's play Glissa. And I think I'm gonna do a removal spell. Yeah. No attacks. They're trying to poison us out. So this is a weird control build. Sure, you can do your invasion of Zendikar. So I guess it's like ramp White Sun's Twilight. What's the Ivy for? Let's cast a spell that targets only a single creature other than Ivy. So you could Bushwhack and double that with Ivy. You could Tamiyo's Safekeeping and double that with Ivy. You could Serum Snare and double that with Ivy. Interesting. Well, let's go ahead and use Glissa to kill one of their things here. Yeah, proliferate your battle. Go for it. Yeah, they have no other purpose. They can't block. All they can do is attack. So here's Glissa. Here's a Skulldweller. And I guess we need to start killing them. There we go. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What you got? Nope. Not happening. Alright, that was a pretty good turnaround. let's see, I can go ahead and get in. Man, I'm just going to go for the Tainted Adversary. While they're empty-handed here, I'm going to push. Push for a win. Let's get in. Draw cards. Top deck what? Nothing. You got nothing. We're up against Rad, Mang, 0. Go first? Alright. Don't have any white mana yet. Don't have any white cards yet. Red. Are we finally up against mono red? Let's give him something to burn, I guess. Here's a Fang of Shigeki. I'm not gonna not play it. Saves my face 2 damage. They don't get a scry. That's a Flame Breather. Guess I ought to kill that. Let's play the Skulldweller. Invasion of Vergotha. It's pretty good against 1 toughness things. Again, like Koshiro's Thingamadooger, I feel like there maybe aren't that many decks in Standard that use 1 toughness creatures, and therefore the invasion is more like just a burn to the face kind of a plan, which is maybe good enough sometimes. 2 mountains. That's a little rough. Unless they're big red. But they don't look exactly like big red. They just look like spell combo red. 3 mountains. There's a Kumano Faces Caucason they're going to play. Okay. Do they even have a hand? Okay, they got 2 cards left. Let's play Glissa. Force them to deal with that. No, I don't need a Power Stone that badly. If they play the Kumano and they don't kill Glissa, Glissa can attack in and destroy an enchantment. Invasion of Vergotha. Yeah, they're going after Ashnod. She's got long game value. Can exile creatures out of the graveyard to make 3/3s. Use the tools you got. Let's destroy an enchantment. Play a land. Hold up removal. Five is the top of the curve in this deck. Once we get 5 mana, we could realistically start cycle lands. Okay, there's a Flame Breather. Lightning Strike. Well, let's, Sheoldred's Edict. Make you sacrifice the Flame Breather. Managed to get a damage out of him. Managed to find an answer to Glissa. Oh, Adversary at 4 mana. That's terrible. Terrible. I'm playing him. They don't have many creatures, do they? There's a Phoenix Chick. Let's see what they attack with it. If they attack towards the invasion, that might tell me they've got another invasion of Regatha in their hand. No, they're attacking towards me. They can keep the chick for now. Double removal. Okay. They have a lot of tools to win a damage race, but I've got double removal. Just a question of when I might need to kill this Phoenix chick. Possibly now. Yeah, it doesn't look like they're trying to flip the invasion. Alright, so they used to play with fire on my face. So I'm actually going to Cosmic Hunger with the Fang here. Alright. There we go. Let's play the Elas. That was my only white mana, wasn't it? Little bottlenecked on white there. Mountain, that's not what they needed. Hey, another Elas. Okay. That can kill them? Not quite. No, it can kill them. It can kill them. We've got reasonable. Alright. So we play this Elas il-Kor to Legend Rule. No, wait. We don't have double white mana. We don't have double white mana, so we can't actually kill them this turn. If we had double white mana, we could blow up our own creature with a Fateful Absence, get the trigger from Elas il-Kor, get another trigger from Elas il-Kor, 2 creatures of ours would die and they'd lose the life. Since we can't do that, we're just going to hold up the Fateful Absence and pass the turn. The double white mana would have won the game right there. White is the least common color in this deck. Stoke the Flames. Lightning Strike. I'm going to give him a good game. We're up against Duality. Go first. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna get this tap land out of the way. Oh no. I think I'm gonna double spell this turn. Genro Spell Spear. That could be very big. Gonna play the Elas. They'll probably have the tools to burn it out, but let's make them do it. I'm gonna flip it. Alright, maybe they're gonna see if they can, like, pump it to the moon or something, kill us in one blow? I haven't really seen a deck try to do that. Let's complicate things for them with a Glissa. Gain a life. No attacks. They're the one who needs to get in. I'm trying to win with this Spellstalker. If they don't give it first strike, anything I block with will kill it. If they don't kill the Glissa, she'll just kill anything that steps up to her. They must kill the Glissa. Etching of Kimono is an enchantment, So if they just say go, I can attack with Glissa to blow up their etching. Yeah. Let's go. Destroy an enchantment. Yep. And here's some life gain. They're in trouble, I think. The Spellstalker could be a lot of damage. But from 18 life, with this amount of toughness, yeah, they don't have a plan. We're up against 4-2G. Play a Jungle Hollow. Red. Okay. Get the Rafine's tower down. Helps us with the white mana. Swift Spear. Have to burn my creature out of the way. They do run into festivities, but that would have been a much stronger play later in the game. I'm just gonna run both of these out. If they have another in the festivities, then so be it. So be it. Was fated to lose. Flame Breather. Hakazan. Okay. Stay home? Yep, they stay home. Sheoldred. No attacks. Diarad. Phoenix check. Not much of a clock. 2 Phoenix check, staying on par as a clock. Assuming I don't draw cards. Yeah, I'm gonna get the Glissa out there. No attacks. Discard a mountain with a blood token. Lose 2 life. I'm in with the Phoenix chicks. They can't block anyway, you might as well. I'm in with Glissa. Tempting to draw a card, but I'm gonna blow up an enchantment. It's the right thing to do, I think. Hold up Hunger and Partition. Wait for 5 mana on the adversary. Yeah. They're at 9. Okay, Invasion of Regatha. So I could Partition Ashnod just to save her. I guess I will. They've used all their mana for the turn. They'll probably swing in with everything, but it's going to be a mistake. Oh, they're making the biggest mistake. Okay. Let's stop on declare blockers, just in case. Alright, so you safely kill the Swift Spear. You can kill any of these. Let's get rid of the etching, I think. And Cosmic Hunger. Get the Skulldweller to kill, what, the Epicure? Yeah. Alright, gain life. Play Ashnod. They're all done. Okay, folks. I won't lie, I did not have the easiest time with this deck. But I think there are some modifications you could make to have a little bit of an easier time than I did. So, this deck feels a little bit light on removal. There are some games, some early starts that opponents can get where they can get under you a bit. And in order to stop that from happening, I think we could maybe drop the Kura and the Thalia and go for, maybe a couple more Fateful Absence, or we could go for a couple more, black removal spells at 2, Infernal Grasp, or the one that doesn't hit artifact creatures, stuff like that. Another way you could go would be to trim things a little bit, maybe go up a land or two. But I think the deck it's close to where it needs to be, but I think you'd probably get the best experience by dropping like a Kura and a Thalia and picking up a couple of like 2-mana removal spells. And probably would be the cleanest way to go. Had a little bit of a rough day on the ladder. Oh, another thing you could do to straighten this out is you could run more of these pain lands, right? Llanowar Wastes, Caves of Koilos. You could run more of the slow lands that are untapped at 3 mana and later. I think those would be good additions as well. So yeah, there are some neat things you could do to trim the deck up, get it into its best form. I will not tell you I had a winning record. I did not. But I'm bringing you content anyway. So please like, subscribe, check out my other videos on YouTube, all of that. And until next time, never stop honing your critical thinking and empathy.